Hi guys, it's Josh Lloyd here giving you an NBA DraftKings first look for Thursday. There's 5 games on. Before I talk about those 5 games, why don't you go ahead, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, give me a thumbs up while you're at it as well. Drop some comments down below and let's have a look now at the games. Bit of a later start. First game tips at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and it is the Miami Heat and the Houston Rockets. No spread or total out for this game. The Rockets should be back to relatively full strength. No Christian Wood still, but no resting. So Wall, Oladipo, Gordon, all these guys will play together. Johnny Wall is at 7,100. I'm not sure if there's a huge amount of upside in that, but with what he is currently producing, the level of production we're getting from Wall, where he's averaging 38 points over the last 5 games, I like it at 7,100. Boogie Cousins has been a disappointment. The last 2 games in massive blowout losses for the Rockets, his numbers have been down. 21 and 28 fantasy points in 22 and 25 minutes. Obviously not ideal. That salary is coming down now to 6,900. He can still very easily have big games if they played him big minutes. But that's not happening at the moment. So there is, I guess, a level of concern there. I don't mind him as a GPP guy, but I'm not fully all over it. I do like Jim Butler here, though, at his salary of 8,400. Butler, his lowest score in his last 5 games has been 45 points. Kelly Olynyk also trending up at the moment. He's at 5,000. Hard to put a huge amount of trust in Olynyk, but there is some upside value in him. While Adebayo at 86, I think that's probably a little bit on the high side. Tyler Hero coming off the bench, I'm not that interested in. And 5,800 for Kendrick Nunn. He's not the greatest fantasy option because he scores and then doesn't do a huge amount else. And with everyone else around, like Butler and Adebayo, he doesn't have those big opportunities here. Same for Eric Gordon with Oladipo and Wall in. I'm not sure I'd want to spend 6,200 on Gordo. And Daniel House at 48. Big game, last game. 37 points for House. But again, with everyone back, it is a little bit harder for him to have that same level of impact. Not interested in Tate really, or Duncan Robinson, or Andre Iguodala in this scenario. The next game we take a look at, we've got the Toronto Raptors taking on the Boston Celtics. In Boston, OG Anunoby, maybe he returns. Nick Nurse said it's 50-50, so yeah, a literal true questionable tag. The Celtics are 4.5 point favorites. The total is 222.5 here. Kemba Walker's at 6,500. It is the first of a back-to-back here for the Celtics. We expect Kemba to play and then sit on Friday. 6,500 for Kemba Walker. Has not been at that number really at all since returning, especially not when he plays alongside Jalen and Jason. He's averaging just 27 points over the last 5. I'm not particularly interested. I think 8,900 might be a bit high for Jason Tatum as well, while Jaylen Brown at 77 looks a lot more interesting to me at that sort of salary with the way that he's shooting and the way that he's playing. Chris Boucher, it's always a risky ride. It's always heart-palpitating stuff having Boucher in the lineup, but he's averaging over 30 in the last 3. The Tristan Thompson, Daniel Tice matchup, I don't think is going to cause too many problems for him. Pascal Siakam is playing at a pretty high level at the moment. $8,000 looks okay with the level of production we're giving him. The only reason I'm a bit worried there is the back-to-back nature of this game. I wouldn't want to use 7,300 on Kyle Lowry specifically, or 85 for Fred VanVleet also feels a little bit too high, and the 6,700 for Norman Powell is too high in a scenario that OG Anunoby plays. Now, we don't know that at this point, but if Anunoby is back, I would be pretty aggressively going anti-Powell. You could use him if OG does play, because we're seeing so many minutes and so much usage and such good shooting coming from Norman Powell, but it is hard to get that much reliability or that much playing time if Anunoby is back and firing. I do like Daniel Tice a little bit at 4,900, but I'm not particularly falling all over that one as a must roster type scenario. The Indiana Pacers and the Detroit Pistons. This is a back-to-back for the Pacers, but they are in the process, when I'm recording this, of getting killed by the Brooklyn Nets. So maybe they're able to rest some of their guys down the stretch. Again, I don't know, because that game's still going on. But in terms of value in this one, the Pistons, they're playing at a very high level at the moment. Last 2 games, Mason Plumlee, he's playing a ton, almost 40 minutes a night. He dropped 50 against the Nets. He's averaging 37 in the last 3. At 6,100, I think there is value there for him. And the same thing goes for Jeremy Grant at 7,400, who is a rock-solid cash floor play. Now, I think the worry we have with Delon Wright is how much they give Dennis Smith a go straight away. But he's averaging 40 a night over the last 3, right, playing 36 minutes. And that might come down somewhat. But 6,300 looks all right, and I really do like Josh Jackson at 58. Even though he's coming off the bench, he's getting a lot of that Derrick Rose bench usage. He's getting the ball in his hands, and that's how he's able to have big games. I think 88 for Sabonis might be high, and I'm not massively keen on Miles Turner here. Blake Griffin, just have no interest in him whatsoever. While Jeremy Lamb at 54 is always a hit and miss sort of scenario, just a GPP option, really, with pretty limited upside for Lamb, unfortunately. But he is in a pretty large slump of it at this stage at the moment. Really struggling to put things together after a hot start in his return from injury. Next up is the Magic and the Warriors. The Magic, of course, everyone is apparently out for them. At this point, Evan Fournier and Cole Anthony are both questionable. Now, if Anthony's out, we're looking at Frank Mason as a $4,000 player. If just Fournier is out, Mason will get a few extra minutes, but I wouldn't say that he's a great option. But that is an absolute must-roster scenario if we do have Cole Anthony sidelined. So just keep an eye on the news there with that one. Andy Wiggins is down at 6,200. He hasn't been playing particularly well. I don't mind him here. I think there is some GPP value. No Wiseman still for the Warriors. Nick Vucevic at 9,400. This guy's just trying to carry this team as much as possible. Big numbers consistently for Vooch. 62 points in the last game, 34, 78, 51. Like big numbers. I know 9-4 is a lot, but he is just carrying such a large offensive load. Steph's at 10-1, and while I do like the fact that he's Steph Curry, the matchup against the Magic, who do slow things down a bit, is not perfectly ideal. I think if you're looking for a cash option, Juan Toscano Anderson can get you those 26 or 27 points. He'll be starting again most likely, while Draymond at 6,800. I feel that's a little bit too high for Draymond Green. Always we can look at Terrence Ross as a tournament type of option. He can disappoint us, or he can put up big numbers. We've seen it time and time again. 31, 16, 16, 12 points in his last 3 games. You love that 31, but the others are obviously massive disappointments. But that's what keeps his roster percentage down, generally, across the board. James Ennis also played well last game, so watch if Anthony and Fournier are out. Ennis put 32 points up, and at 4,200, he could have some marginal level of impact. The last game we look at here is the Philadelphia 76ers and the Portland Trailblazers. Shake Milton looks like he's going to be out for the Sixers. He is doubtful with an ankle issue. Damian Lillard at 9,800. Absolutely love that for Lillard. Really good price tag for a bloke that's averaging 52 a night over the last 5. Simmons is at 83. I'm not super into that. While Enes Kanter at 7,000. Now, Kanter can do an okay job going up against Joel Embiid. He's stout enough to be able to defend him at times, so there is something there for him. Not particularly interested. While Embiid at 10.8, well, he should get it's 55 to 60 pretty comfortably here, so he is a great option. Seth Curry found his form last game. He's at 4,700. Wouldn't be putting huge amount of investment into him, but that's at least interesting. While Gary Trent is just bombing. At one of these days, he's going to have a night where he hits 50% of his shots and he's going to blow through the 40-point mark, so I do like using him here. While Tobias Harris at 77 is just a good, solid cash scenario type guy without necessarily being a huge upside tournament play. I think there is value in that. Hood, Carmelo, Simons, I'm not really interested in those guys. Robert Covington's priced up at 59, and that doesn't particularly enthuse me. So just a 5-game slate for Thursday. Good luck with your lineups. Drop some comments down below. Hit the subscribe button. Give it a thumbs up as well, guys. All right, we're done. Thank you for watching, everyone. See ya.